Sure.
Yes. Hi, Matthew.
Hi. Yep. So I'm Matt Newton, Isaac Newton, Fig Newton, however you want to remember it. But um, I'm with EvoLibri. I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with our company. I know Jan has worked a lot with different members of the CAC, but she apologizes that she couldn't be here today. And since I did have the pleasure of getting to meet Rika at the last event at the beginning of the month, um, I was able to step in and kind of present on what we're on one of the programs we're working on. So thank you so much for letting us be here. The program that I was going to talk about today is College Launch, and I'll give a little introduction about EvoLibri for those who don't know us well, and then I'll talk about College Launch in particular and how it may be beneficial for your students getting ready to graduate high school and look at college or alternatives to college. So is it okay if I share my screen? All right, excellent. I'm going to, and it looks like it should, yes, there it is. Everyone can see it now? Yeah, awesome. All right, so College Launch is a program that we started last year with DOR. And as I said, I'll talk about it a little bit and how it may be beneficial. So first off, if I can get this to work, here we go. EvoLibri, this is us. As you can see, our focus is really on providing a whole multidisciplinary services, so a whole range of services to neurodivergent teens and adults, families, employers, etc. Now, when we say neurodivergent teens, we are talking about kids all over the spectrum, but really we focus on what people define as high functioning neurodivergent young adults. So we don't have a lot, we aren't able to really support young adults who might need more assistance. Our work usually is with kids who are mainstreamed, having difficulty with social skills, work, executive functioning, etc. That's really where our support is best given. Who we are, as we mentioned, serving low need neurodivergent young adults, 14 through adulthood. We don't work with the littles. We start really when they're getting into high school on into adulthood. We mentioned that we work with the Department of Rehabilitation to provide a lot of our services. And the reason I'm bringing up DOR is because this program that I'm going to talk about is in conjunction with DOR. We also are an NPA, a non-public agency, and hold contracts with organizations to provide coaching for neurodivergent professional employees as well. And our focus and our goal is to help all neurodivergent people reach their potential by removing barriers in their lives. This program that we're going to talk about, College Launch, is designed for that barrier that a lot of our young adults face as they're getting ready to graduate high school and they don't know what are the next steps, or I don't know if I'm ready for college. How do I manage that? So the basics. College Launch is for graduating neurodivergent seniors. So in this case, if there's people who are juniors that are about to become seniors and haven't started applying for college or don't know what they're going to do, this is a good time for them to look at it, as well as obviously seniors who are getting ready to graduate now. And if they're looking to go to college, we're not talking about four-year institutions or things like that. We're looking at, I don't know where I want to go, so I'm interested in maybe working in a two-year program to kind of get my feet wet, understand what's going on, and then move forward into maybe a four-year degree or work or something like that. So ideal candidates mostly are partially mainstreamed in high school and able to function on campus independently. This is very important because the program that we have, a lot of it is in person and we have virtual as well, but we are not going to classes with the young adults. We're not helping them in that capacity. We're here more as a program to help them get ready to be independent and work on their own. So what we provide in this program, it is a 2-year-long program. So from the time they start college to the time they end at this 2-year program, we're there every step of the way. Currently, the program, we started this last year. We are doing it at Foothill College. This upcoming year, we're going to do it at both and Ohlone. It is limited to a select group, and so I'll talk about the application process at the end, but this is a program that does run for 2 years. So prior to school starting, or college starting, I should say, we provide a few things. One, career counseling and field of study selection. So what that means is we're sitting down with each client in the program and helping them kind of dig through what are their interests, what do they want to do, what are their future goals, and then helping them create a plan, a setup so that they can get the courses they need over that 2 years. We also do independent living skills instruction. This involves a 2-week class at our office that handles all sorts of different life skills, and it's called our Life Launch program. You can do it as part of College Launch, and for young adults who maybe are not in the College Launch program, they can also attend Life Launch. This program helps them with everything from learning how to manage finances, to setting doctor's appointments, to learning CPR, to learning how to cook and go through the grocery store, navigate grocery stores, to even how to throw a party without having to call the police. So all the skills that young adults who are going off to college or getting ready to start their life can benefit from, that's Life Launch, and that is a part of our College Launch program. We also help our young adults, our students, register if they need accommodations. So going to the school ahead of time, registering for those things. Once college starts, we do a quarterly help with registering for classes so that they can continue to stay on pace. We have weekly one-on-one academic success and self-advocacy coaching. We do weekly meetings with all of the young adults who are in the program. So they get to know each other. They've already met each other in the summer, but now they get to know each other during the school year, see how things are going, talk about some of the situations and issues they're running into, and kind of collaborate with each other. And then we also set up social activities once a month, once a quarter, depending on kids' availability, so that they can kind of hang out and have a good time as well. We also provide additional support, and that is once they're getting ready to finish at their 2-year, well, do you want to transfer colleges? We can help you with applying to that. If they need specialized tutoring, we don't do the tutoring, but we can help refer them to getting that support. And then, I apologize, for low-income families who can't afford all of the college expenses, DOR, who we've partnered with in this program, will also provide reimbursement for tuition and materials. So why this program? As I mentioned before, we're here to help young adults, neurodivergent individuals maximize their potential, maximize what they can do. And for a lot of neurodivergent kids who want to go to college, they need a little extra support in certain areas. In fact, it shows only, I have a touchy mouth today. Only 38% of students with a disability complete their post-secondary programming. So we're able to help change that by providing that ongoing support. So all the things that kids are running into during the school or during their school year, they have us to fall back on and say, hey, give me some advice. Help me figure out what's going on. Now, how does someone apply to this? So our application period is going to start in a couple of weeks, April 1st until May 15th. All applications will need to be sent dor@evolibri.com. And then we will be contacting all applicants in late May, doing an intake, interviewing them, see how well they'll fit with the program, if they'll be able to sustain the commitment needed, have the time and energy to do this. And then students have to also be available for our onboarding process and the life launch that I talked about earlier. That's going to run mid to late June through early July at our office in Santa Clara. It's a total of 3 weeks. 2 weeks is life launch. Another week is what we call CEO of Self programming that we do as well, which focuses solely on executive functioning and helps get these young adults ready for school as well. So that is the program, and this is who we are. So I wanted to make sure I left enough time for questions and to answer anything you guys might have. I also can show you the registration form and things like that. But that is essentially who we are and what we do with College Launch. So I opened up the floor. Please ask me anything you guys have.
Matt,
yes.
I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit more about the other programs that you have, and
sure.
Is there a registration process? Are they free or paid? Maybe you could show us your website and
absolutely. No, I'd love to. Yeah. If we have time for that, that's wonderful. I would love to do that. Let me pull up the website and I'll give you guys a quick tour. Yeah, thank you so much for that opportunity. Here we go. Let me.
And maybe while he's pulling up that, just as for our family, since we have one in college already who does receive disability services and another who's headed there. I think it is great, to have these supports for kids that are heading off into an independent setting, because all those skills that were supported oftentimes by a case manager in high school, they don't have that in college. Some schools may have support similar to what Matt is describing, but if not, that to have an outside organization like this to do, this is really what stumbles a lot of kids is, EF, how to figure out course selection, planning, and that does slow down people, and it no longer becomes a 4-year experience because of these kinds of living skills that he's talking about. So this is honestly, it's actually even cost-effective way for them to be successful in their next, in their next academic endeavor. So whether you are planning for a school that does have these services, at least to be aware that these are oftentimes very much needed for kids that are college-bound, that are needing, that are not fully independent.
Yeah, thank you, Kimberly. And to answer your question that you put in chat as well, this program through DOR, the College Launch Program, is subsidized by DOR. So all of the extra services that we provide are covered by DOR. So there is not a cost to the parent as long as they register through DOR. And so I'll show you guys the application process and what you need to do for that. But as long as they register with DOR, get approval, then they're able to apply for this College Launch Program. We have the programs I'm going to show you in addition to that, and that College Launch does encompass some of. Our programs we also run outside of this program, and they do have costs to them if you came in and did them with private pay or on your own.
Sorry, Matt.
Yes.
Matt, could I just,
yes,
with this, what you were saying about the DOR? The DOR, it pays for students who are regional center clients. Right? So, if you're not a regional center client, would you be supported? Because there may be students who have like 504s who may need this kind of help, but they're not regional center.
Yeah, so regional center is a separate entity from Department of Rehabilitation. And so people who are part of regional center can apply to DOR, but even if they're not, they should apply because Department of Rehabilitation, say that 5 times fast, is its own entity and does handle many different issues that STARC or regional centers do not cover. So absolutely, and what DOR looks for is, do you have a diagnosed disability? If you're a student, what is that disability? What does it preclude you from being able to do? And then they offer support, and it can be anything. I've met young adults who are suffering from a physical impairment, and DOR is able to help them with that. Also, mental issues, anything that comes up. So it's absolutely something to check out for people, regardless of if they're in our college launch or not. DOR does provide a lot of services for students, those going into college and into the workforce. Any other questions on that before I show you guys briefly what our website? Okay, so as I mentioned, College Launch is just one of the programs. I'm going to take you to our resources, which will give you a better idea of what we have available. So can you guys see the resources page? Did that pop up? Mm-hmm. Okay, excellent. So in College Launch, we're going to cover CEO of Self as well as Life Launch, which are two programs we offer individually. We also have these other programs as well: Evo Club, Peers, Springboard, and Workplace Adaptability. In terms of time, and to make sure I kind of keep in the vein that we're looking at, I'll just talk briefly about CEO, Life Launch, and then Peers as well, just as a separate. So the CEO of Self Executive Functioning Program is typically a 7 to or 8 to 10 week program that meets once a week to go over curriculum that Jan, our founder and CEO, created, that really helps break down executive functioning and all of the different areas that people need: project management, time management, cleaning your room, any areas like that, thought management, all these different areas. In the way we're going to set it up for College Launch is it will be a 1 week class instead of meeting weekly. It'll be during just a 1 week period. Life Launch is the program and so let me back up. CEO of Self does, if people join it, does have a cost outside of College Launch, and people pay for that whole program. If it's something you're interested in, all of our forms, you can just click on the form, it will pull up and it will give you the pricing for CEO of Self. That is a program that we charge usually every week as people join. And then that way, if someone misses, they're able to come and pay for another session for that once we get back to that week. Life Launch is a 2 week long summer program. It covers those areas I'd mentioned, everything from finances to how to throw a party without having to have the police involved. So young adults really get the gamut of what it means to step out, learn how to live with roommates, all these different things that they may not have had an opportunity to learn. It runs from the morning from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at our office, Monday through Friday for 2 weeks long. And during that time, we go on a couple of, I call them field trips. We go to the grocery store, we go out, and the final day we actually do either a movie or we're right next to Great America. If everyone wants to go to Great America, we figure out something fun for the group to do, and they've kind of built that camaraderie during that period of time. We have experts in the fields come in and talk to the young adults about what's going on in these different areas so that they can learn and practice different skills. That program also, as I mentioned, does have a cost if someone is going into it without going through College Launch, and that program is a total of $2,550. It's on the registration form if someone were to click on that wanting to learn more, and they could see the pricing for that. As with all of our programs, we do a free intake. So they would meet with me or one of my colleagues, and we would walk them through what the program entails, as well as the cost, pricing, things like that. Then the final program that may be of interest to your students is our Peers program. I'm not sure how many people are familiar with Peers. It is a program that was developed by UCLA, a curriculum that was developed by UCLA. We've taken it and we have it for two different groups, 14 to 19-year-olds, so the high school group, and the 19 plus. It's a small group. We keep our cohort small, no more than 8 people, but they go through 14 weeks, once a week, of meeting and learning about how to handle social etiquette. How do you enter a conversation? How do you leave a conversation? How do you recognize people that might have similar interests and learn how to talk to them? How do you tell a joke? How do you respond to social media? All the different things that a lot of our young adults have difficulty managing, this program helps them work through that. And we do it through, as I mentioned, the curriculum, through videos, through practice. It's at our office, so they're there practicing with each other, role playing, going through different scenarios. And so we run that about 3 times a year. We've run it for several years. Our main instructor has been trained in the Peers curriculum for several years, and then she came and worked for us. And the people that she has assisting her, our secondary folks, have also been teaching it for quite some time. So that's our Peers program that also requires an intake, a complimentary intake, and then that runs as a closed unit. The cost for that is, let me remember, is $22.50 for that class, and that's also on the registration form. But it doesn't cost anything for people to meet with me and learn more about the programs if they are interested. You're welcome. Please check out our site sometime, evolibri.com. It has all kinds of information about not just our classes, but who we are, what we do. It talks about some of the companies that we have connected with in the past to help young adults who are, or adults who are looking for jobs, and things like that. So any questions on this? Do we have scholarships? That is a great question. That's one of the things we are looking at. We're a small company, just keeping our lights on right now, but that is one of the things that we are looking at doing. Jan has been looking at trying to build a nonprofit arm over time that will allow us to create scholarships for low income. But at this time, we don't have the ability to offer that.
I think we are at a time, and I think it was very much extensive information from you, Beth. Really appreciate that. Just make sure we are not how I say try to recommend a certain organization, but I think this is a really great information for us in general, how we want to look at this offered very valuable community program, but include the main focus was today. After we had the November, we have our district transition team introduction session, and we learned a lot, and we realized that any other armed program from this transition program was valuable. Especially we get to know how the program like this and school team, and also the DOR is a key partnering group. So I think this is valuable to get to know how these kind of things develop within the community organization, like Matthew's organization. And we really appreciate that this opportunity that even very generously they participate in our resource fair. So we were also individually, I was very interested in their organization in the past. I think I found that social program he introduced at the last, I think a peers program, all those very I think it's also some sort of, what I found is it's a rare opportunity that we can find nearby, or those such as peers program, social component, that I think it's valuable. So I really appreciate that, Matthew, that you came and participate and introduce. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So who should I send the slide deck to, as well as the registration form for college launch, in case you have anyone you want to send that out.
Oh yeah, certainly you have my email, so
Okay.
yeah, it's
Perfect.
yeah, it will be, then I will share with Allison, and we even share with the whole community. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. All right. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful day. Stay dry.
Thank you.